Okay, so it's 98 degrees outside, and I am not going to take my camera and put it on the mount on my windshield in my SUV and try to make a video. I've done that for years, but yeah, I did that. I've done that. I did that for years, but it would make my cell phone hot, of course, too hot. You know, whether I was driving or just sitting somewhere or even in the shade. And the feels like, I think it said it was 106. Or was it 108? Yeah, so, this is Texas, by the way. North of Dallas and a suburb of Dallas, but it's a big city all to itself. But anyway, our temperatures went from, we were having highs at, the temperatures in the daytime were highs like in the 70s and 80s, at nighttime in the 60s, to suddenly, boom, as usual, sometime at point in March, June, usually beginning of June, it switches and gets real hot all of a sudden, boom. Not really switches, but it just gets hot. But anyway, that's a little intro to nothing. Just a video. Not even an intro. Why did I say intro? Yeah, it's going to be a whole thing. But no, what I want to talk about, here's an intro, is what I want to talk about is just this weird feeling that comes over me every once in a while. And that was what was on my mind when I started this video. Was this weird feeling. It's kind of like a level of, I wouldn't even say depression. I wouldn't say like being in a funk. Or it might hint at sadness, but it's very, very low level. I mean, very little. It's like it just hits me like a second and then it goes away. And it's been doing this for years, and I always said before that it was when my glucose level, I'm diabetic, but back then I was not on insulin. I went on insulin last year, and but anyway, but it was when my always high glucose level was lower on its level, okay, but not like it should be, not low, but should be normal. It's not even normal, but it's lower than usual, and if that makes sense. Not normal low, but I'm going to quit trying with that. Boy, this whole video sounds like that. But, yeah, and when it would get close to normal, I guess is another way to put it. The closer it would get, the more I would feel this. And it's just such a weird, odd feeling, really. But and this has been happening. Now I have a rare health condition. Rare. Okay. When I was first told it back in 1998 by an endocrinologist in California, San Jose, he showed me the website or something. I have just a flashback of it, and it said 1 in 33 million. And I was like, wow, 1 in 33 million people have this. That's rare. That was very rare. But there are different types of it. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not going to do that. There are different types of it. But when which overall they're like 10 to 15 in a million. But when you narrow down to each one and what it does itself, that's what I'm saying. Now I don't know what it is now, because they're clumping them all together. Yeah, wow. But the information I would get would be from the NIH, National Institutes of Health, this kind of thing, and not just what anybody says. And that's what I was, I don't make suggestions or any kind of advice, but I know that that's the best thing for me, is to, go to the appropriate people, not just what any Tom, like I say, how is it I put it? Billy Bob Jimbo, Sally Sue, Tiff and Miff, what they say, or what the experts say, or voices of authority, actual ones. Yeah, what do they say? But anyway, I do wonder about this, about why it does that. And I've been feeling it lately, and I have upped my insulin, which I can, because where it was in the first place and all that, as it was diagnosed. To a nurse, it was a nurse practitioner then. I seen my He's more of a specialist this week, in a few days. But I was also this month off of medications on and off this past month time, not May, but this past month or so in time, and it was because I went to the ER 3 times, and I still don't know what was causing the original problem. ER don't have insurance. I don't know if I need to say more, but I really don't know. But what I have heard from people who should know, that's how they clump it together. I'm not a conspiracy theorist or something, but I don't know what I've heard, and even from the people working in the ER, 2 of them I think said basically the same. It's all about the money, as the last one said. But anyway, so I still don't know what's causing it. Hopefully this doctor, the one I see this week, they said, ask your doctor. Well, no, my doctor's not in the ER. He's not looking at the results in the ER. And they said, well, the doctor, I mean, I didn't say that, but then this one said, and your doctor has full access to all your records that we have, that they have. Well, I called my doctor's office, and they said, what are you talking about? Portal and all this. We don't do stuff like that. Can you imagine? And this was the nerve of the person that answered the phone. Said, I don't know her. She said, can you imagine if the doctor sat around having to look all this stuff up every time, or to call and all this? I'm like, okay. And I flat out told her, I said, don't triangulate me. That's between him and the, all of you in the hospital. So don't triangulate me. And then she stopped for a moment, and then, she said a few sentences. She said, and like you said, really, you are just a patient, so you wouldn't be in the middle of this. Exactly. Hello. You're the office staff. That's their office. That's where you get the information. I'm not in on how you get the information, because she wanted me to call them and get them to fax, and I actually did call them and found out, this, that, and the other. I don't even remember. There were so many places I've called. But I think it's because of this mess with this. Over a month now. And 3 ER visits. It's unbelievable. And that's not all that's going on. That's the whole problem. I mean, not the whole problem, but a big part of it is right in the middle of all this. I mean, before all this, which makes me kind of wonder. I'm not a healthcare professional, so I can't say. But my situation, as I call it, I'm my own best case study. My degrees are in psychology and sociology. I taught at college and university. I was a freaking career student, and I'm a genius. I literally have a genius IQ. So, this would be the second case I had to figure out myself, of my health. I'm not a healthcare provider. I'm not a healthcare, in any way, in healthcare. And I shouldn't have to be doing this. They should be doing their jobs. Now, this is the second time, and I've pretty much figured it out. And I've even told them that I've had thought this for, because I had some of the problem for years. It's the usual crickets, double talk, not even paying attention, probably off texting somebody in their mind. Of course, I could be wrong. That's just me being sarcastic. But anyway, with all this other stuff that's been going on, which yesterday, Adam's usually with me when any of this is going on. Seriously. He's the one goes with me to the hospital, ER. But a different, totally not about which, got a question, my health, but it was about groceries and an odor. But yesterday, short version would be, I had ordered some clothes, for offline. I mean, online I ordered clothes to be sent to me. They arrived yesterday. One of them, each thing was individually wrapped. They weren't all from the same place. I think they were all of them, so maybe 2, were from different places. One of them came balled up instead of folded up and stuffed in a bag, and it smelled like really, really strong perfume. And then when I washed it, and then I washed it again, it still had this odor, the same odor I've smelled on groceries. That I have done all this stuff of reporting and all that and everything, doing my duty and, and telling people, hey, the managers, hey, this is going on. This is stinking really bad. Here, go smell it yourself. Go take a look. Go, not smell it themselves, because That's dangerous. To go smell items. I did it, and I do wonder if that's why months ago I got my first case of stomach virus that I know of. First time ever. Thought I was dying. You know, really. First time ever. 60 years old. Then I was 59. Anyway. Ugh. About to start coughing again. But anyway. What else was I going to talk about in this video? But this is why I'm going to be doing videos like this. I'm not doing that. You know, I have done it for years. Go out. I mean, my original channel, I started making videos. It'll be 9 years in August. My original channel. I've got more. But yeah, a lot of times I was driving and stuff like that, or sitting at the park, or sitting at the other park, sitting outside in front of my house, whatever. And it's, no, I just don't want to do that. I think this is one of the things I'm changing since I just turned 60. It does not feel like I'm 60. Seriously, I know I had the wrong view of what is 60 when I was younger, and so my mind's having a time adjusting. Yeah, I spent my 59th year basically thinking about, boy, I was wrong. You know, I was really wrong. It wasn't really insulting what I thought of as being 60, but it was just not what I am at this age. You know, I don't know about other people, maybe they are, but overall, no. You know. But anyway, that's a bunch of little ramble bits. But I am still suffering, not suffering, well, in a way I am. Still feeling the exhaustion that I've felt for over a month now because of this health thing. And I've mentioned it before. It's kind of gross, and I don't want to keep mentioning it. It's just, you know, yeah, it's just not good that the way this all turned out for me. I don't know if it would be the same for everybody of how it went for me. I hope not. I don't hope anybody else goes through that. And just the and what was weird was last night I was going through my channels, and one that I watched and the videos, and I saw one of someone I have watched for years, you know, on and off. I could just check on hers maybe a couple times a year, and I can get caught up or something, maybe a little more. And she had her own. She was talking about her own problems with going to the hospital. I was like, yep, and she's in a totally different state. I'm in Texas, she's in Florida, yeah. And it's just disgusting. What happened to professionalism? Now, I can't say that. I cannot say that it's across the board, but I know my experience, my personal experiences would make me say, at least the ones that I personally saw. That doesn't mean all of them. It doesn't mean what you would see. That nobody else would see. What I saw is what happened to, it would make me question, what happened to professionalism? And it's not anything new either. It goes back years, many years, probably ever since I can remember. Really, seriously, you know. Say once I became 18 years old and as an adult, I was got married. I was on my own. I went to my own doctors by myself, you know, and just doctors, nurse practitioners. Well, later on it was nurse practitioners, which because of my rare health condition. I realized it's been recently only that it must be a doctor. It must be a doctor who has some clue. They don't really, hardly any of them. Some of them even ask me, "What is that?" Oh my goodness. Oh my, wow! And then they still want to stereotype me a different way. And even though they have evidence like images from a CT scan, okay. And they still, and I tried to explain it to them, and they, you know, read NIH, question NIH, Google it, see what does NIH say about this, okay? Wow, really? They want to stay that way? Because, like, I've heard, it was a doctor, I can't remember who exactly it was, male or female even, but many years ago said that you would be a healthcare professional would see one, possibly, in their whole lifetime. Didn't say career, said lifetime. Yeah, Oh, well, let's see. Well, okay. Call me a freak of nature. I got a sense of humor, at least. But the other day, the last time I went to the ER, I think it was the last time, or maybe the second time, and I went to pick up my prescription. I looked over, and a woman walked by, going down the other way past where I was. And so I just saw her. And I looked over and said, oh my, she's a younger version of me. So, I'm not a healthcare professional, but I guess that's my second one I've seen. Myself being the first. But I have seen other people. Yeah, I've seen other people. So no, I'm not going to, I think it's ignorance. I think, okay, strike that. It could be, allegedly, maybe, possibly, I don't know. But if I've had this much trouble in all my life, that each one of them doesn't know about it, and I have only met, I think the one that I have now, I don't think I think he did know about, yeah, he did. First visit, and then he studied up on it. It was obvious. He studied up on it. That's good, but if he weren't such a jerk. Seriously, he is not nice. I would sum it up as a social and behavioral scientist, my degree in sociology and psychology, taught against things like this, and I think he's a bit sexist. Seriously, like telling me, he didn't even know, didn't know how I speak or anything, not like this, because I never get a chance to. People will interrupt me, first sentence, mid-sentence, and because they want to talk about themselves. They are more important, their lives are more important, and it happens consistently in my life. I mean, I'm talking mid-sentence, the first and only one they've ever heard me at least try to speak. They interrupt me, start talking about themselves. You're not that interesting, to tell you the truth. They're, not you, but they. No, they think they're so interesting. I'm like, this is kind of boring. And total strangers will tell me all about their lives. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I know grandstanders, egoists. People, they just love to hear themselves talk. They love the sound of their own voices. They think that they're these great sages. These, what else would you call them? The wisdom person, the wise man or wise woman on the mountaintop, and everything they say, people should look at them and glorify them. These types, seriously, kind of a bit histrionic, perhaps. Yeah, and they're on stage. Anybody who doesn't like, they're a hater. That kind of person. And they just don't know. They don't have common sense. When people say common sense, I cringe. I say, okay, yeah. Common sense is what they think is right, and anybody around them should think that it's right. And anybody who doesn't, again, is a hater to them. Use logical sense. Real, but then again, they go and find something that is fake and then say that's the real, and on and on. So you can't, people say you can't fix stupid. I don't like mantras, and you can't say that one to an educator or a former educator. Might not like it, might not. But I don't like that. But yeah, those are generally the people who say that. You can't fix stupid. Well, okay. Anyway, okay. I think I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna be making videos because I'm not feeling well, and I just want to, like I said, I don't want to go out in that heat and all that, and not feeling well, and plus it's just so freaking hot. It's unbelievable. It's insufferable. And they say that we have all this ozone problem and everything, which is not too abnormal. It's kind of usual, but especially right now they're saying, and all that. And so I just need a pressure release valve, like I've always used my channels, pressure release valve. But I'm going to be changing up some stuff. I tried it before, and now I got to undo my mess. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.